This is KVUE News Midday.
Good Monday morning to you. I'm Yvonne Nava.
And I'm Anna Reyes. Thank you for watching KVUE News Midday. Well, here's a live look outside. Scattered showers are in the forecast, and there are some storms developing around the Austin metro area right now. Let's get a look at what we're tracking with Storm Team meteorologist Erica Lopez.
Good morning, ladies. Yeah, we have some of those showers redeveloping from what we saw earlier this morning. That's going to be the trend all afternoon, and some of them could be on the stronger side. This is what it looks like across the entire viewing area. You see little yellow dots out there, and those are the moderate pockets of rainfall that are coming into play here. Travis County is actually the biggest this late morning into the early afternoon, and we're expecting them to hold on into the evening hours. Here's what we're seeing right now. You have one cell just west of Camp Mabry, and then as we head a little bit further to the west of that, Steiner Ranch, moderate rainfall for you guys just south of Leander. Those cells are pushing to the north and the west, so that means if they hold on, Lago Vista, Spicewood will be in the path of some of these cells. We're going to keep a close eye on it, and as far as what we can expect the rest of the day, temperatures should stay in the upper 80s for the most part. But a forecasted high here in Austin is about 90 degrees. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of us don't even hit that 90-degree mark. Needless to say, rain shower chances are in our forecast. We're going to keep a close eye on it. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you. Well, happening right now, the future of a new highly controversial bill in Texas sits on the shoulders of a San Antonio judge.
That's right. The judge will consider whether or not Senate Bill 4, known as the Sanctuary Cities Bill, is constitutional. We have team coverage today with Jay Wallace in the newsroom with details on how SB 4 impacts families in Austin. But we're going to start off with Corey Coffin live in studio. Corey, lay out the case for us.
Well, good morning, Anna and Yvonne. Now, today's hearing would be for a preliminary injunction request. Now, what that means, if granted, Senate Bill 4 would be on hold until a trial. Several entities, including the city of Austin, are suing the state, asking a judge to block Senate Bill 4, also known as the Sanctuary Cities Bill. SB 4 requires local law enforcement comply with Immigrations and Customs Enforcement detainers, which are requests to hold someone in jail while their immigration status is investigated. It also allows local officers to ask for a person's immigration papers during routine traffic stops. Prior to this morning's hearing, several community members and leaders gathered in front of the courthouse in San Antonio addressing the judge.
He will have to ask himself whether this law is just like so many others that Greg Abbott and Donald Trump have pushed and defended, that have been intentionally discriminatory, anti-constitutional, and indeed anti-American.
Now, the plaintiffs in this lawsuit say SB 4 will lead to discrimination. They also point out that immigration laws are enforced at the federal level, and shifting the burden to local level will dissolve the trust between police departments and communities that they serve. However, proponents of Senate Bill 4 say that cooperation between immigrations and customs enforcement officials and local law enforcement is necessary in order to catch and deport undocumented immigrants who have a criminal history. Each side will have an allotted time to present their arguments and rebuttals. Now, if each side takes their full time, oral arguments will last into the next 2 days. The United States has also asked to be heard in this case. The U.S. Department of Justice supports SB 4. Yvonne, over to you.
All right, thank you, Corey. And coming up in our next half hour, Jay Wallace will join us on midday to talk about the impacts SB 4 could have on the Austin community. So stay tuned for that. A grand jury will meet today to decide what, if any, charges will be filed for a crash that killed 13 people earlier this year. 20-year-old Jack Dylan Young was seen on video swerving and running off the road just before this crash in March. He hit a church bus from New Braunfels head-on. On Friday, the district attorney met with family members of the victims. He discussed the charges he plans to present to the grand jury. Investigators say the driver was texting while driving. They also found medications and marijuana in his truck at the scene.
Happening today, the Austin ISD School Board will hold a special meeting where they'll discuss the district's bond proposal that could go before voters in November. The district wants to stay below the $1 billion mark. Otherwise, they'll have to raise taxes. Some projects include a potential new middle school in Northeast Austin, along with 2 others. Today's meeting starts at 5:30 p.m. at the Caruth Administration Center on West 6th Street. The public is welcome.
And the mother of an African-American motorist killed by a Minnesota police officer last year has reached a nearly $3 million settlement in his death. Philando Castile was killed during a traffic stop last July. The aftermath of the shooting was live streamed on Facebook by his girlfriend. Here it is. A 32-year-old man was shot and killed by St. Anthony officer Geronimo Yanez after Castile told the officer he was armed. Yanez was acquitted of manslaughter and other charges earlier this month, which sparked protests. The family's attorneys made the settlement announcement earlier today. A Houston police officer is getting a lot of heat this morning after allegedly assaulting a man who broke into his home. The charges he's now facing.
And it may be a good time to hit the road for a quick summer trip as gas prices continue to drop. We'll tell you where Texas stands in the national price average.